Welcome, Virgo. Come close. I mean that. Come close to this message today because what I am about to say to you is not meant for the surface of you. It is meant for the part of you that already knows. There is a feeling you carry. You have been carrying it for a while now, and it is not comfortable. It sits somewhere between your chest and your throat, heavy, unnamed, like a word you cannot quite bring yourself to say out loud. The feeling that where you are is not where you belong, not the city, not the job, not necessarily even the people, but something about the shape of your life right now doesn't fit, like wearing someone else's clothes. They cover you, but they were never made for you. And you have been smiling through it. Haven't you? Showing up, doing what needs to be done, being who people need you to be, while inside. Something quiet keeps saying, I am not happy here. Um, I want to tell you something about that feeling, something that might change the way you hold it. That feeling is not a flaw. It is not ingratitude. It is not you being difficult or unrealistic or asking for too much. That feeling is your compass. It is the most honest part of you, speaking in the only language it knows. Discomfort, the kind that doesn't go away no matter how busy you stay, no matter how much you try to talk yourself into contentment, no matter how many times you list everything you should be grateful for. And still, that feeling remains because it is trying to lead you somewhere, and it will not stop until you listen. Now, I want to talk about the other part of this message, the person, because there is someone, isn't there someone who exists in your world or existed in it, someone who does something to you that you cannot explain, that you have tried to explain to yourself, to the logical part of your mind that prefers things to make sense, and it never quite works. Because what this person does to you is not logical, it is something older than logic, deeper than reason. It lives in the body before the mind even registers it. A warmth that spreads from your chest outward when they are near, or even when they cross your mind, which is often, more often than you admit to anyone. Around them, you feel like yourself, the real version, not the one that performs and manages and holds everything together, but the one underneath all of that, the one that laughs without thinking about how it sounds, that says things without editing them first, that breathes, actually breathes, like the air is different around them. And there is something else, something harder to name when you are with them, or even when you are simply thinking of them. There is a version of your future that becomes imaginable, one that felt sealed off before, like a room you had forgotten existed. And suddenly, the door is open, and the light is on, and you remember, oh, this is what I actually wanted. This is what I had stopped letting myself want. That is what they do to you. They make the right version of your life feel possible again, in a way nothing else has managed to, in a way you had quietly stopped expecting. No one else does that. You have looked, maybe not consciously, but somewhere in you, you have looked for someone else who makes you feel that way, and you have not found them, because what this person gives you is not something that can be replicated. It is specific to them and specific to you, and the way those two specific things meet. And that is precisely what makes this so complicated. Because when you have found something rare, truly rare, the kind of connection that most people spend their whole lives reaching for and never quite touching. And it exists in a form that is not simple, not convenient, not clean. It creates a kind of ache, the ache of knowing what is possible and being unable to fully live in it, the ache of feeling alive in one place and numb in another, the ache of carrying a feeling so large that your current life cannot hold it. That ache has a name. It is called longing. And longing, as painful as it is one of the most honest emotions a human being can feel. It does not lie. It does not dress itself up or perform. It simply points quietly, persistently, toward what the soul recognizes as true. I want to speak to the guilt now because I know it is there. The guilt of feeling unhappy when perhaps you have things that others would want. The guilt of longing for something different when leaving or changing would cost someone something. The guilt of feeling so alive with one person and so absent everywhere else. That guilt is real, and it speaks to the depth of your character, to the fact that you care about people, that you do not take lightly the impact your choices have on others. But I want to offer you something to sit with. Staying somewhere you do not belong, out of guilt, does not serve anyone, not truly, not in the long run, because a version of you that is slowly disappearing, that is hollowing itself out to fit a space that was never designed for it, cannot love well, cannot give fully, cannot be present because it is too busy surviving. The kindest thing you can do for yourself and for everyone in your life is to be honest about where you are. Not recklessly, not impulsively, but honestly. There is a difference between blowing up your life in a moment of feeling and slowly, courageously beginning to move toward what is true for you. One is chaos, the other is growth. And growth, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it asks hard things of you, is always worth choosing. I want to go back to this person for a moment, the one who does something to you that no one else can do, because I think it is important to understand what this connection is actually showing you. It is showing you what you are capable of feeling. That is the gift of it. Before anything else, before any question of timing or circumstance or what is possible, the gift is the feeling itself. The reminder that you are someone who can feel this deeply, this fully, this completely. Some people never feel this in their entire lives. They move through connection after connection, pleasant, comfortable, adequate, and they never know what it is to feel undone by someone in the most beautiful way, to feel seen so completely that it almost hurts. You know that feeling. You are living it. Even if it is complicated, even if it has no clean resolution right now, that is not nothing. That is extraordinary. And what this connection is also showing you is what you should be looking for, what you should be refusing to settle beneath, what you deserve, not as a lucky exception, but as a standard. You deserve to feel like yourself in your own life every day, not just in stolen moments, not just in the presence of one specific person, but as the baseline, as the ordinary texture of your days. That is not too much to ask. That is the minimum. I want to speak now to what comes next, because I know that is the question sitting heaviest in you. What do I do with all of this? What does moving toward what is true actually look like? How do I begin? And I want to say something that might surprise you. You don't have to know the whole path. You don't have to have a plan. You don't have to be able to see the destination before you take a step. You only have to do one thing. Stop pretending. Stop pretending you are happy where you are. Stop performing contentment for the comfort of others. Stop shrinking the feeling because it is inconvenient or complicated or too big for the container of your current life. Let it be real inside you first. Acknowledge it fully without immediately trying to fix it or resolve it or talk yourself out of it. Because honesty, even private honesty, is the first movement, and first movements always lead somewhere. I also want to speak to the fear underneath all of this, because it is there. Underneath the longing, underneath the guilt, underneath the quiet daily ache of not happy here, the fear of choosing wrong, of turning your life upside down and discovering that what you thought you wanted was just an escape, just a feeling, not a foundation. That fear is understandable. It is even intelligent. And I am not asking you to ignore it. I am asking you to look at it clearly without letting it make decisions for you. Because fear is a terrible architect. It builds it builds walls instead of doors. It mistakes familiarity for safety and safety for happiness. But you already know that familiar and happy are not the same thing. You have known it for a while. You are living that distinction right now, every single day. Familiar is where you are, happy is where you are going. And the distance between those two places is not as impossible as the fear wants you to believe. It begins with a single honest step taken in the direction of what is true, even if that step is invisible to everyone else, even if it is only something that shifts inside you, a decision, a permission you give yourself to stop pretending that this is enough. That step changes everything that comes after it. You are not broken for feeling this way. You are not selfish. You are not asking for too much. You are someone who has touched something real in the form of a person who sees you and in the form of a life that doesn't fit. And both of those things together are asking you to be brave. Not today necessarily, not all at once, but directionally to begin turning, however slowly, toward what is actually true for you. That turning is the beginning of everything. So I will leave you here with this. The feeling you have been carrying, the one that says, I am not happy here, is not your enemy. It is the most loving thing your soul has ever said to you. Listen to it, trust it, and when you are ready, follow it. Because on the other side of that honesty is a version of your life where you do not have to steal moments of feeling alive, where alive is simply how you are. You deserve that completely, without apology, without exception. Go find it.